Today we're looking at dummy batteries or DC couplers for Panasonic Lumix cameras. And what does that mean? It means you never need to run out of battery power on your camera ever again. Let's take a closer look. So I've got here two of these DC couplers or dummy batteries, and what their job is to replace the regular battery in your camera so that you can actually plug this camera in to the power supply into the wall and therefore not be running out of battery. Now you might want to do this if you are in a single location and you're shooting for a long time. I don't know, you're shooting somebody talking for a long time, like at a conference, or shooting something like this in a room like this, and you don't want to keep changing batteries all the time. These things are a really good option. And what I've got here is two different types for two different types of Panasonic Lumix camera, and one is first party and one is third party. I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between them. So if we take a look at what these things are, first of all, you can see here that they kind of like just sort of hollow, cheap bits of battery. So if we compare this one here is for the GH5 and the GH4. This is the regular battery for those cameras, and then this thing is shaped just like it, but with this little dongle on the end. And then this DC coupler here, this is for all of the other G cameras, so the G7 and the G85 and so forth, and it is shaped like that equivalent battery as well. Now the way that these work is they are combined with a power adapter. So I have here a power adapter for actually for this DC coupler, and if we take a look at how this works, this end here that plugs into the wall, and then this end here plugs into the battery. So now we are got a live powered battery into our camera. Now let me show you how these things go into the camera, and we're going to do that with a GH5 right here, and I'm going to show you how this thing gets installed, because there's a little trick to it. So if we open up the battery compartment here for the GH5, and we're going to take our dummy battery or our DC coupler, and it just slides in just like any other battery would. Now that's all good, but we've got this thing hanging out now, and how do we close the battery door? This is something that's fooled a few people, and it definitely fooled me. Well, it turns out there is a little piece here that you can click open. So this is coming out. You can see that on the camera there. This comes out, and then the cable runs down through that part there. Then I can close the battery door, and that cable has free access. So that is how you do it. I was actually running this DC adapter for a little while and leaving the battery door open, so I couldn't figure that out, and then I looked online and saw this. So that's a very, very handy feature, and all of the Lumix cameras have some form of ability to shut the battery door. Some have a hole in the bottom of the battery compartment, but they all have an ability to do it, so make sure you check that out. Right now, so to power this camera on, I'm going to grab my power adapter, plug this in, like so, and now we have got a powered camera, so I should be able to turn this on. And there we go. Now you'll notice, or maybe not notice in fact, that up here, this is normally where you would see the battery symbol and how much power you've got. These cameras, when they are on the DC coupler, just don't show a battery icon whatsoever, because there's nothing to show. It's not got 3 bars, 2 bars, 1 bars, whatever, it's just on. So this is always just turned off now, so another thing to notice. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about your choices. So as I say, there can be third party and first party options. For the GH5, I elected to get the first party battery, and it actually comes in two parts. You buy the DC coupler itself, so this thing alone costs about $30. So this is the DC coupler itself. Its part is DMW DCC12, and I'm going to put links to all of this in the description of the video. However, you obviously need the power adapter that goes with it. This is sold separately, and the official Panasonic power adapter runs a ridiculous $100. So if you want the all first party solution, the power adapter will cost you $100, and then this DC coupler will cost you an additional $30. So $130 to get wired in power. Now look, compared to the cost of one of these batteries, I guess that's not so bad, considering that you don't need more than one of these. But yeah, quite expensive. Now for this other DC coupler, which I use for my G7 and my G85, this is third party. It's from a company called Gonine. And if we take a look here, it comes with both the DC coupler and the AC/DC power adapter. These both come in a package together, and they cost $25. So this is a fantastic deal. Now, have I noticed any difference between the two? So far, no. I mean, they either work or they don't. And although I've not had this DC coupler very long, I'm using actually two of them to run two of the cameras in this studio here, and they've both been great. So there you go. This is looking at dummy batteries. I think they're really useful. I definitely got sick of running out of power, especially in studio setups, and having to always be charging one battery, running the other battery in the camera, and then switching it and so forth. This takes that problem completely away. Now, I've done a video recently looking at all of my lenses for Panasonic cameras, and I have quite an extensive lens collection. So if you're interested in, first of all, getting your camera powered and now putting some good lenses on it, check that out. Plenty more content coming on the channel, so please keep an eye for that. And thank you for watching.